Now this judge, outstanding lady, she was very firm. Her name was Master Wintercore. She was firm on juveniles, first offenders type, because she wanted to make sure that if she waved a fist at you, maybe, just maybe, you will not come back. This was true for me. But first I was presented with 3 options. It was one, to go with my mother back to the same conditions, same standard of life that I really didn't want to have anything to do with. Or it was go with this stranger that appeared in the courtroom. He was magical, he was like a genie, he just popped in there all of a sudden. My father, who did this periodically as he would come to school and visit us and then disappear, never rescued us from our desperate situation. So I knew I didn't want to go with him. I heard a lot of horrible things about him, which proved down the line to be true. So I made a good decision not to go with him. I made a good decision not to go with my mom. So I went with the third decision, which was to give up 15 months of my freedom to go to a facility for boys called George Jr. Republic. It was located in Grove City, Pennsylvania, where I know a lot of you ladies would appreciate the outlet mall shopping. I remember the first day I showed up to George Jr. My mouth dropped open. My eyes was real big, because why? It was a mansion, several of them. When we entered the front door, this is when I got greeted by people who could call themselves the cottage parents. They had their own family who lived in this mansion as well. And then they introduced me to 9 other boys who I'd be living with for the next 15 months. This is where I got to understand what it was like to live in a family setting. How it was to work along with my peers and not resort to violence first. I also took advantage of other tools they offered, such as anger management, such as going and taking care of a lovely horse. This horse's name was Nikki. I didn't realize how much Nikki was going to teach me about trust, about how to take care of something else other than myself. Even though I had been doing that with my family, but this was a different beast. I remember the first time Nikki taught me a valuable lesson as I cleaned her hooves. Anybody know about cleaning a horse's hoof? You hit that little nerve. She kicked me and put me down on my back a couple times. I didn't give up. I just knew that I had to do a better job at taking care of her, building trust edge. And so Nikki and I built this great relationship, and I found myself riding Nikki through the woods, jumping over things. And she taught me how to have confidence, how to really take calculated risks, because I had to trust her just as much as she had to trust me. And so I remember 15 months necessarily didn't come that fast, but it came. And I was sent back to the same area that I left. But this time, I had to go to what's called an aftercare program. Now this aftercare program was only a 3-month program that you was committed to. They'd come pick you up from your house, take you to a facility, and the first thing they would do is feed you. Now a lot of people who come from rural America or a poverty-stricken area, they necessarily don't have access to 3 square meals a day. But we were guaranteed at least 2. And then you got to sit down and talk to a counselor. This counselor, you could tell, genuinely cared about your well-being. They asked you, hey, how you doing today? Did you go to school today? How's your home life? All the questions that I know you also parents in here ask your kids. This meant a lot to me because these are not questions I was necessarily asked at home. And so I took advantage of this situation and began to flourish. They offered you the same counseling, the same anger management, and then they offered you a trade. They would actually teach you something that would be valuable in your life. At carpentry, at drawing, They also had sports, which I took advantage of. I took advantage of sports. I wrestled because I had wrestled before and I loved the sport, and I kind of missed it. And not realizing that this was going to open a door to an amazing relationship. This is when I met this guy named Frank Wenzel, who I refer to as Coach, and my father figure. Now Coach, he saw something in me that most people took for granted, which was that I was a kid from the hood who wasn't looking for nothing more than someone to care about me. A little bit more than what I was exposed to. I was looking for a father figure because that's what every young boy wants, is a father figure. A strong man to lead him in the right direction. And that's what Coach did. He had a fine balance of compassion and love and understanding for what I've been through. So he pushed me in that right direction. I began to wrestle, he began to train me. There was times we even trained by ourselves because he understood my drive. And so we had good times. And not only did he teach me how to do all this, but he also exposed me to his family. Something that is a very unique gesture in itself. One day, I was having problems at home, so he invited me to come back to his house. In which this was the first Christmas that I had that I remember. It was a great Christmas. Spent the night there and they treated me just like they treated their kids. So, his wife, I call Mom. His two sons, I call my little brothers. This is something they offered me that they didn't need to. They had no obligation to me. So 3 months in the academy came, and it came fast. And then guess what? They told me that I had to leave.